This is Dave at TitleSearch.com. A lot of times we get title search orders from individuals as a result of some family event or checking on a family property. The client wants to verify the title on properties owned by a relative. Maybe it's an heir to a property that's been left to the family. In a lot of cases, they're finding things on a property that weren't exactly how they're supposed to be. In one very specific example, we worked on a search for a guy who actually was in a northeastern United States location, and he had sent his son down to Florida to go to college. In lieu of putting him in a dorm, he bought him a house and put the kid in the house, and that was it. Well, it turns out that the kid had arranged to transfer the title to his name and got all kind of liens and mortgages, and it turned out to be a mess. So when you look at title to a property, you want to look for if it's a family property that's been left to maybe siblings or other family members. If you're not close by to that property, you want to see if there's any unauthorized transfers. If the title has been transferred to another name that it's not supposed to be, or you were never notified of. You also want to see if there's any changes to the name of the tax assessee. So the person paying the taxes and their address is somebody who you know about, to make sure that the taxes are being paid and that the taxes don't become delinquent, because that's a way that the property could be lost to the county through auction. You want to see if there's any mortgages that are either placed on the property, or that mortgages that are on the property are not refinanced, or there's second mortgages added onto it, adding additional encumbrances and taking away from equity. Worse than a mortgage would be an involuntary lien, would be a lien slapped on the property because of the fact that somebody had a judgment or debt against them that went against that property, again reducing equity with no benefit to any other property owners. You can also look at the homestead status of the property to maybe see if it's owner occupied, or if it's the primary residence of a person who's supposed to be there. In a lot of cases, a family property will have a sibling or one of their relatives living in it, and then at some point they'll move out and rent it to tenants to collect income and not distribute that to other family members. So that's something to take a look at. And then another area to take a look at on a title search is to see if there's any permits pulled for construction or for repairs on a property that are unknown to other owners of the property. In some cases, there'll be a notice of commencement by a builder to start working on a property, and that'll be evident on the title search as well. More importantly, you want to make sure if there are mortgages, if there are any type of financing, that none of those go into default or delinquency. So you have a foreclosure risk of a property. Checking that occasionally to make sure that property stays intact financially is a really good way to keep that family property from being kind of dissolved its value, where if there's supposed to be a distribution of that equity at some point, it's not all gone by the time it gets there. So verifying title on family-owned properties can be important. It can help keep the integrity of that family asset from becoming diminished.